Christmas Eve, 11 p.m. The landlord brought police to enforce the eviction. The Afghan War veteran was in his wheelchair, his 7-year-old daughter crying beside him. "Daddy, where will Santa find us?" The building inspector arrived to sign off on the eviction. He looked at the nameplate on the door, then at the veteran. "Nobody moves." This man earned a Medal of Valor, saving my entire squad. Call the mayor. Hey, welcome to Silent Courage Stories. Before we jump into this powerful story about respect, justice, and hidden heroes, drop a comment and tell us what city you're watching from. And hey, if you think stories like this should never be forgotten, hit that subscribe button and help us keep their memory alive. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. December 24th, 11 p.m. Snow falling outside, temperature 10 below zero. Riverside Apartments, an old building, mostly low-income families lived there. Staff Sergeant David Hayes, 36 years old, sat in his wheelchair. Afghanistan, IED blast in 2018. Lost both legs from the knees down. Beside him, his daughter Emma, 7 years old, in her pajamas, clutching her teddy bear tightly. "Daddy, how will Santa find us?" Emma was crying. David's heart was breaking. "He'll find us, sweetheart. Santa knows everywhere." A hard knock on the door. Landlord Richard Coleman, 50 years old, in a suit, papers in hand, 2 police officers beside him. "Hayes, open the door. 10 minutes until midnight. Time to get out." David wheeled to the door. "Mr. Coleman, please, tomorrow's Christmas. My daughter—" "I don't care, you haven't paid rent for 3 months." "My disability payments are delayed. The VA hospital—" "Excuses!" Richard shouted. "The police are here. Either you leave or we remove you." One of the officers, young Officer Johnson, looked uncomfortable. "Mr. Coleman, tomorrow's Christmas. There's a child." "The law is the law," said Richard. "Building inspector is coming. He'll sign the papers. Midnight official eviction." David turned to Emma. "Come on, sweetie, let's pack our things." "But Daddy, the tree, the presents." The small Christmas tree stood in the corner, a few simple presents underneath. David had spent all his money on Emma's Christmas. 11:50 p.m. A city vehicle stopped. The building inspector got out. Building Inspector Michael Thompson, 42 years old, former Marine, checking the file as he approached the building. Richard met him. "Inspector Thompson, right on time. Just need your signature and we're done." Michael opened the file. David Hayes, Apartment 3B. They went upstairs. Michael saw the nameplate on the door, SSGT. D. Hayes. His heart stopped. He entered. Saw David in the wheelchair. Saw Emma crying. The file dropped from his hands. "My God, David? David Hayes? From Charlie Squad?" David looked up. "Michael? Mike Thompson?" Yes, it's me." Michael fell to his knees in front of David. It's really you." Richard was impatient. "What's going on? Sign so we can finish." Michael stood up, turned, his face angry. "Nobody moves." "What?" "This man," Michael's voice was shaking, "Staff Sergeant David Hayes, Medal of Valor recipient, saved my entire squad, saved me." The officers looked at each other. Michael continued. 2018, Helmand Province. We were ambushed. 3 vehicles hit. David pulled each of us out, under fire, after he lost his legs. Richard stammered. This doesn't concern me. The rent." "Shut up!" Michael pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the mayor. It's midnight. You can't disturb." "Watch me," Michael called. "Mayor Morrison?" "This is Michael Thompson." "Yes, ma'am, I know it's Christmas Eve. There's an emergency. Do you remember David Hayes, Medal of Valor recipient?" "Yes, ma'am, him. He's being made homeless right now, Christmas Eve." He hung up. "Mayor's on her way." Richard's face went white. "This is ridiculous. The law. Michael was furious. "This man is a federal award recipient. His VA payments are delayed, and you're throwing him out on Christmas Eve with his daughter?" Emma approached Michael. "Mister, is my daddy a hero?" Michael knelt down to Emma's eye level. "Your daddy is a superhero, sweetie. He saved me and my friends." Why is he in a wheelchair? Because he got hurt saving us. But he still saved us. Mayor Janet Morrison arrived, local TV channels behind her. What's happening here? Michael explained. Cameras were recording. The mayor turned to Richard. Mr. Coleman, how many months of rent are owed? 3 months. How much? $800 a month. Total $2,400. The mayor opened her purse, pulled out her checkbook. Here's $2,400. Personal check. She handed the check to Richard. This, take it, and give David Hayes a receipt. His rent is paid. Richard took the check. His hand was trembling. The mayor continued. And tomorrow, Christmas Day, I'll speak with the city attorney about discrimination against disabled veterans. In front of the cameras, the mayor turned to David. Sergeant Hayes, on behalf of the city, I apologize. This shouldn't have happened. David's eyes were wet. It's okay, ma'am. No, it's not okay. You fought for us. We can't provide you a home. Michael sat next to David. Brother, why didn't you call? I would have helped. Pride, Mike. Stupid pride. Pride. You pulled me from a burning Humvee. Your legs were gone. You still carried me, Emma asked. How did Daddy carry you? When he couldn't walk, Michael wiped his eyes. He used his hands, sweetie. He dragged himself and pulled me. 2 miles, under fire. Richard stood in the corner, his face ashen. The mayor turned to him. Mr. Coleman, all your permits for this building will be reviewed. But, no, you tried to evict a disabled veteran, a Medal of Valor recipient, from his home on Christmas Eve. The cameras zoomed on Richard. Tomorrow the whole country would see him. Officer Johnson stepped forward. Mr. Hayes, we apologize. We didn't know. You were doing your job. No, we should have done what was right. Michael turned to Emma. Hey, sweetie, you were worried about Santa finding you, right? Emma nodded. Let me tell you something. Santa has a special list. The list of heroes' children. You're on that list. Emma's face lit up. Really? Absolutely. And tomorrow there will be a special surprise. The mayor made a phone call. A few minutes later, footsteps on the stairs. 5 Marines entered, in uniform, carrying gift packages. Charlie Squad, one shouted. We don't leave our commander alone. David started crying. Guys, how? Michael called. We said, if Dave's in trouble, we're there. They gave the packages to Emma. New toys, clothes, books. Emma's eyes went huge. These are for me. Of course, for the hero daughter of our hero. Richard tried to leave quietly. Michael stopped him. Where are you going? I'm leaving. No, you'll stay, you'll watch, you'll see what you did tonight. One of the Marines, Sergeant Johnson, spoke. David risked death for us. Really, his legs were gone. He couldn't stop the bleeding, but he kept saving us. Another added, I'm alive because of him. I have a wife, children, because of David. Richard lowered his head. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Of course you didn't know, Michael shouted. Because you didn't ask. You just wanted your money. David intervened. Mike, enough. It's Christmas Eve. Time for peace. Michael calmed down. David turned to Richard. Mr. Coleman, I couldn't pay my rent, that's true. But there was a reason. What reason? David pointed to Emma. I wanted my daughter to have Christmas. I spent all my money on her, not for myself. Richard's eyes filled. I have a daughter too, I understand. It was past midnight, technically Christmas. The mayor stood up. I want to make an announcement. David Hayes, the city is moving you to the Honor House. What? Special housing for veterans. Completely free. For life. David couldn't believe it. I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. You deserve this. Emma hugged the mayor. Thank you, lady. The Marines started singing Christmas carols. Silent night. Emma joined them. Richard still stood in the corner. David called to him. Mr. Coleman. Yes? Come, sit with us. After what I tried to do. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is learning. Richard approached, sat down. Emma handed him a gift. Mister, this is for you. For me? A small chocolate from Emma's presents. Richard cried. Thank you, sweetie. At 2 a.m., everyone had left. Only Michael remained. Dave, I'm really sorry. You shouldn't have gone through this. I'm alive, Mike. Nothing else matters. Your legs, I don't have legs, but I have my daughter. Worth everything. Michael hugged him. You're a hero, brother. No, just a soldier. Did my duty. The next day, Christmas, the story made national news. Landlord's Christmas cruelty to veteran. Mayor intervenes. Richard Coleman's phone wouldn't stop. Threats, insults. David went on TV. Please leave Mr. Coleman alone, he apologized. I forgave him. Why did you forgive? Because it's Christmas. And I want to teach my daughter that anger isn't the solution, Richard called David. Thank you. You defended me. You could have defended me, but you didn't. I hope you learned. I learned. Definitely. Richard now donates monthly to veteran organizations and offers special discounts for veterans in his building. 1 year later, Emma's 8th birthday. Richard came with a huge gift package. David, Emma, happy birthday. Emma hugged him. Uncle Coleman. David smiled. Thank you, Richard. No, thank you. You reminded me of humanity. Michael was there too, Charlie Squad as well. 8 years, said Michael, since Helmand. 8 years, said David, since I lost my legs. But you gained us, said the squad, with you till the end. Emma blew out the candles. They asked her wishes. I wished for Daddy's legs to come back, David cried. Sweetie, I'm happy. I don't have legs, but I have you. You're my miracle. And that Christmas Eve, now called the Milwaukee Miracle, a landlord tried to harm a veteran, but an inspector, a squad, a mayor, and a little girl reminded everyone of Christmas's true meaning: giving, forgiving, loving. David still in the same wheelchair, but now in his home, with his daughter, safe. And every Christmas, Charlie's squad gathers. No one gets left behind, they say, especially at Christmas. The story resonated nationally. Richard Coleman became an unlikely advocate for veteran housing rights. At a conference, he spoke. I nearly destroyed a hero's Christmas because I saw a debt, not a person. David Hayes taught me that humanity isn't measured in dollars, but in dignity. Michael Thompson pushed for citywide reforms. The David Hayes Act, protecting disabled veterans from eviction during federal payment delays. No veteran should choose between their child's Christmas and rent, he said at the signing. Emma grew up surrounded by Charlie Squad. They became her uncles, attending every school play, every birthday. At her high school graduation, she gave the valedictorian speech. When I was 7, we almost lost our home on Christmas Eve. My dad, a war hero in a wheelchair, was being evicted, but I learned something that night. Heroes aren't just people who fight in wars, they're people who fight for each other in peace. Mr. Coleman, who tried to evict us, became one of our closest friends. He learned that night what my dad always knew. We're all just trying to find our way home. Richard was in the audience crying. David rolled forward to hug his daughter. Proud of you, baby. I learned from the best, Dad. The apartment where it almost happened is now a memorial of sorts. A plaque reads, Christmas Eve, 2023. Here, a community chose compassion over contracts. A squad chose loyalty over comfort. A mayor chose justice over convenience. And a little girl's faith in Santa reminded us all to believe in miracles. Every Christmas Eve at 11 p.m., they gather there. David, Emma, Michael, the squad, Richard, sometimes the mayor. They sing Silent Night. They remember. They forgive. Because that's what Christmas is really about. Not the presents under the tree, but the presence of those who refuse to leave you behind. Even when you've lost your legs. Even when you've lost your way. Even when you've lost hope. Someone will carry you home. 2 miles if necessary. Under fire if needed. Through a minefield if required. That's what David Hayes did in Afghanistan. That's what Milwaukee did for David Hayes. No one gets left behind, especially not on Christmas.